Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nik Nur Husna Amira binti Nik Mustafa, number matric 1192984. Now, I will explain on abstract or summary. Firstly, Islam stresses the preservation of chastity among its followers, which is derived on various commandments. Aurah covering is one of them. Many phenomena that divide from Islamic standards in daily life application are connected to Islamic good and ideal attire. Our group chose Street Da'wah as our community project to implement about covering aurah to find the appropriate form and model of Islamic that adhere to the substance of the actual Islamic teachings. Nowadays, hijab has become more than a symbol of religious commitment. Muslim women now are haunted by a dilemma that has impacted their decision to defend Islamic laws or make reforms to accommodate modernism. The issue occurred when certain individuals did not wear the hijab according to the Islamic methods. This Street Da'wah project truly helped in guiding other women to cover their aurah, and practically it can contribute to the clarity of the appropriate guidance on how to wear hijab properly to be implemented in the modern society that adapts a global idea upholding the human rights. As for the introduction, Islam guides people in all aspects of life, including public decency. Although there is no set standard for the style or type of clothing Muslims must wear in Islam, aurah must meet certain minimum requirements. The obligation to cover aurah is written in the Quran in Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 26, where the translation is, "O children of Adam, we have bestowed upon you clothing to conceal your private parts and as adornment." Aurah has a variety of meaning. Firstly, aurah is defined as a paucity and a reprimand in the literal sense of the word. Awara, which means disgusting, refers to aurah and anything else that might bring humiliation. According to the Arabic term, the core definition of aurah is shame or disgrace. It refers to the damage and the defect that must be hidden from public view to prevent humiliation or embarrassment. According to Sharia, aurah refers to particular parts of the human body that must be covered or protected from others' gaze or someone who are not permitted to see them.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nur Alia binti Zana Abidin and my metric number is 1192978. Next is I will explain about the problem statement in our project. Nowadays, fashion is a way of life for many people. Clothing allows people to convey their personalities, feelings, and a sense of self-worth. Besides, Islam also established the dress code for Muslims, notably for women who wore veils or hijab. The issue became national after numerous designers designed various veils. The designers curated the veil and promoted it on TV with models and notable artists. The issue also occurred when certain individuals did not wear the hijab as Islam promotes. From what we can see, several Muslim women wear hijab opposite with Islamic teachings. As we can see, through social media such as TikTok, many videos show how to do different styles of hijab. Many videos we see are hijab tutorials that are not styled according to Islamic doctrine. Next is society's view of the aurah responsibility to be covered. The group that understands aurah well does not retain it precisely as they understand it. When dealing with someone who is not a mahram, it makes no difference whether the claimant covers the aurah according to Sharia or the boundaries of the aurah. Society has to be aware that a woman's whole body is aurah in Islam, with the exception of her face and two wrists. There are certain statements that clearly illustrate that the bottom portion of the foot must be covered in addition to the general assertions.
One of our goals in this street da'wah is to correct this stereotype that says covering the aura is an option is wrong. Therefore, covering the aura is an obligation on all Muslim women. In addition, aura should be covered completely, and it is prohibited to cover some of the aura while revealing other parts of the aura. Other than that, Islam established a few guidelines for Muslim women to follow while covering their aura in order to fulfill the aura covering commandments. The objective to emphasize to the community that covering the aura is an obligation for all to the Muslim women. Second, to cultivate the interest of the community to love the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has required. Third, to improve the stigma of society against the obligation to cover the aura. The outcomes. First, giving awareness to the participants, namely Muslim women, on the importance of the covering the aura. Therefore, many Muslim women can implement their practice of covering the aura perfectly. Thus, they can make sure that many Muslim women are capable to understand the importance of covering their aura so that they can make change their life to be better person in this life. Secondly, giving the exposure on covering the aura perfectly based on Islamic law. When the Muslim women have a good motivation and high spirit, we also can assume that they can make a good change by giving exposure on covering the aura perfectly based on the Islamic law. Changing the perception of Muslim women that covering the aura properly according to Islamic law is not outdated. According to Asmat and Al-Osman 2021, Muslim women still regard wearing Islamic clothing as a religious obligation, while also associating it with a variety of other issues such as culture, fashion, and family ties.
Plan of work, narrative and project description. Title of our project is Covered for Good. Project description. This effort was created to educate the community about the necessity of properly covering the aura. We're going to perform by approaching them along the street. We took this step because many people want to attempt but worried about others' opinions of them, particularly in a society that likes to evaluate people's past. We'll hang lovely bunting to entice members of the community, especially Muslims, to stop by without resorting to pressure. We'll demonstrate how to wear hijab perfectly, then put it on for them so that they can feel the beauty and serenity of covering their aura well. Plan of work. Farah Liana will approach Yadin. Nur Alia will prepare public address system, as we call as PA system. Siti Zulaika, which is me, will prepare props such as hijab. Nik Nur Husna Amira will purchase bunting, and all of us will doing street survey for this project. For project management technique, we're using work breakdown structure technique. At first look, both large and little projects can appear intimidating. There's a lot to be done. Everything must be first planned before it can be put into action. We're breaking down the task into smaller, more achievable chunks to make it easier to put into action.
Now, I will explain on evaluation. Firstly, we decided to put an effort for this da'wah project by doing street da'wah to show the true guidelines for women to follow in wearing hijab, which is covering the chest with aprons that loose and covering your body and not revealing the shape of your body. This effort can attract their interest and able to open their eyes on the duty of wearing hijab according to Islamic methods, because this street da'wah is more to relay an effective da'wah technique. This initiative has received an overwhelmingly positive reaction, as they have shown interest in wearing proper hijab and really enjoy on gain awareness of the proper ethic in wearing hijab without any question from us. This street da'wah is one of the da'wah techniques to help many Muslim women in order to implement their practice of covering the aura perfectly to maintain the purity of the hijab. Once they are able to understand the real guidelines of wearing hijab, they have changed their life to be a better Muslim and are not wearing hijab merely for fashion.
Next is I will explain about organizational capability. According to the Arabic definition, the basic meaning of aura is a shame or humiliation. Some Muslim women wear exposing attire, use cosmetics, and act in ways that they consider modern. As a result, for our Dawah Community Project proposal, we opted to emphasize the importance of responsibility in Aura even more. A collaboration between Covered for Good and Yadim is required to deploy Dawah programs and developments in the community. Yadim is an ideal partner because it is a non-profit dedicated to Islamic aims giving and charity work across Malaysia. In terms of the documentary, we chose to capture all our experiences by creating Instagram account to promote the purpose of our company. The Instagram account username will be Covered for Good, which is everyone in the group has a job to do. There will be someone who preaches on the Dawah street. The other person will ask the community to join the bandwagon. As a next step, someone will demonstrate to the audience how to wear their hijab properly. In the end, there will be a person who will be in charge of doing the live video on our Instagram account.
Next, for continuation or sustainability, in Malaysia, various dakwah initiatives have been launched. However, not all of them have had a long-term and beneficial influence. To attain the purpose of dakwah, the appropriate means and strategies must be employed. There are three general preaching strategies that can be used, which is Al-Hikmah, Al-Maw'izatul Hasanah, and Al-Mujadalah. We will make every effort to employ the following tactics in order to get the greatest results and in some cases to cause a significant influence and change in a person. We shall concentrate our efforts on women because the majority of the participants in this project are women. We also ask for social media accounts like Facebook and Instagram so that we can keep track of them, especially if they require something to inquire about relevant topics. We can continue to approach them in a positive manner and not make them feel uncomfortable this way.
Next is I will explain about the budget that we use in our project. The majority of our project's budget is allocated to the props that will be used during the event. First and foremost, we choose to collect money every month to earn approximately RM200 to complete the project. Moreover, we intended to utilize the funds in purchasing bunting for our upcoming project, which will be held on the street. In addition, other props such as a speaker, microphone, petrol, and an emergency funds are included in our budget as well.